Welcome to The Explainer. It's funny. Have you ever stopped to think about why a 30-minute haircut can cost the exact same as a whole month of cloud storage? Well, today we're going to crack the code on one of the most mysterious numbers in all of our lives, the price tag on something you can't even hold in your hand.
I mean, you've probably run into this, right? An hour with a lawyer can cost a fortune, but a search engine that gives you access to pretty much all of human knowledge is free. It just doesn't seem to make any sense on the surface. So what is the deal? Well, to get to the bottom of this, we have to understand a really basic fact. Pricing a service is nothing like pricing, say, a coffee mug. It's a completely different kind of puzzle, and it has its own very unique set of rules. And the difference is huge. A product is tangible, right? You can hold it, you can put it on a shelf, but how do you stock a warehouse full of good advice? You just can't. And a service is perishable. An empty seat on an airplane, that's revenue that vanishes into thin air the second that plane takes off. This makes it a massive challenge for any business trying to set a decent price. So these aren't just, abstract ideas. They are the daily headaches for anyone running a service business. How do you justify the price of something that's literally invisible? How do you deal with that constant pressure of selling something that expires minute by minute? And then, on top of all that, you might have the government stepping in and telling you what you're allowed to charge. It's a total minefield. But this is where it gets really interesting, because the price you pay for a service, it's not just about the numbers on the invoice. There are all these other hidden costs that you're paying. Marketers actually have a term for this. They call them non-monetary costs. Basically, think of them as everything you pay with that isn't actual money. And honestly, sometimes these hidden costs are way more important than the price on the tag. Just think about it for a second. You are paying with your time every minute you sit in a doctor's waiting room. You're paying with your effort when you spend hours online comparing different phone plans. And you're paying with your mental energy, what experts call psychic costs, when you feel that stress of applying for a loan, just worrying that you might get rejected. So with all of this going on, this intangibility, this perishability, and all these hidden non-monetary costs, how in the world do businesses actually land on a final number? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is there some super secret, complex formula they're all using? Well, the answer is no, not really. But there is a surprisingly simple and really powerful framework that guides pretty much every smart pricing decision out there. Okay, let's get into it. The best way to picture this is to think of a sturdy, three-legged stool. If any one of those legs is weak, or if you just ignore it, the whole thing is just gonna topple right over. It's called the pricing tripod, and its three legs are, first, the company's own costs, second, what the competition is charging, and third, the value that the service provides to you, the customer. This is such a brilliant way to see how it all works. A company's costs set the absolute lowest price they can charge and still stay in business. That's the floor. The value you get from the service sets the absolute highest price you'd ever be willing to pay. That's the ceiling. And the competition, well, their prices help determine where exactly between that floor and that ceiling the final price is going to land. So now, let's check out how businesses use each leg of this tripod as the foundation for their whole pricing strategy. And trust me, you see these three approaches absolutely everywhere. First up, you've got the most logical one, cost-based pricing. This is kind of an inside-out approach. A business just adds up what it costs to deliver the service, tax on a profit margin, and boom, that's the price. Think about a contractor's estimate or a mechanic's bill. It's always about covering costs first. Next, businesses look over their shoulder at their rivals. This is competition-based pricing. Here, the big question isn't, what are my costs? It's, what's everyone else charging? This is exactly why airline tickets and cell phone plans all feel so similar. When one of the big players makes a move, the others pretty much have to follow suit. And finally, we get to the most fascinating and powerful one, value-based pricing. This one just flips the whole script. It totally ignores internal costs and what competitors are doing. Instead, it asks one single question. What is this service worth in the customer's mind? A perfect example of this is the Indian Railways ticketing system. A standard Tutcon or a last-minute ticket has a fixed extra fee. That's based on urgency. But the premium Tutcall ticket, that's different. It uses dynamic pricing. As seats get more and more scarce and demand shoots up, the price goes up with it. The price is based purely on the value of getting that seat when you're desperate and there are hardly any left.
Price bundling is another brilliant value strategy. I mean, think about Amazon Prime. They package fast shipping, video streaming, music, the whole shebang, all together for one price. And why do they do that? Because it makes the total value feel absolutely enormous, and it convinces you that you're getting an incredible deal, even if you only end up using half of the services.
Now, this value-based approach can go in two totally opposite directions. You have penetration pricing, where a company like Reliance Jio launched with free plans just to grab a massive number of users as fast as possible. And then, at the other extreme, you've got prestige pricing. This is where a luxury hotel or an elite consulting firm sets a crazy high price to signal, hey, we're exclusive, we're the best.
Okay, so let's pull all of this together. What does this actually mean for you the next time you see a price tag on a service? What should you be thinking about? It means that a price is never, ever an accident. It's a high-stakes balancing act. Every single company is constantly juggling its own costs, keeping a close eye on its rivals, and, most importantly, making a very calculated bet on what that service is truly worth to you. And this, right here, is the key takeaway. The smartest companies out there know that the price is just one part of the story. The real cost is everything you have to sacrifice to get that service: your money, your time, and your effort. So the next time you're about to pay for a service, use the tripod. Ask yourself, am I paying for their costs? Am I paying based on what their competitors charge? Or have they done a really good job of convincing me of its value? Because deconstructing the price isn't just about trying to save money. It's about understanding the story that you're being sold.